Ai Weiwei is a Chinese artist. He's also a fighter for freedom. And he was jailed in China for demanding democracy. So he's put his skin in the game. But few people in the West seem to see that in some dangerous ways, the West is becoming much more like China every day. Now, Ai Weiwei now lives in the US, and he was invited onto the left-wing PBS network to, and this is what the host's big idea was, to attack that wicked Donald Trump as a bit of a Chinese-style dictator himself. The host wasn't actually expecting this answer.
You're describing the directives of Mao Zedong during the Cultural Revolution that would be distributed publicly every night. And then you write, this is your quote, they served a function similar to Donald Trump's late-night tweets while in office. They were the direct communication of a leader's thoughts to his devoted followers, enhancing the sanctity of his authority. So, do you see Donald Trump as an authoritarian?
I don't, if you're authoritarian, you have to have a system in supporting you. You cannot just be authoritarian by yourself. But certainly in United States, with today's condition, you can easily have an authoritarian. In many ways, you're already in the authoritarian state. You just don't know it.
How so?
Many things happens today in US can be compared to Cultural Revolution in China.
Like what?
Like people trying to be unified in certain political correctness. That is very dangerous.
The host sounded a little surprised and bewildered there, Rowan. Can you understand it?
What an absolute legend. Ai Weiwei is absolutely superb, the master of understatement, clear political analysis, spot on. No, Donald Trump, what he was saying about Donald Trump was that Donald Trump used it to communicate, used Twitter as a method to communicate directly rather than going through the usual media sources. Relevant point, interesting point. But his insights into cancel culture and how similar cancel culture, political correctness, identity politics, wokeness, in essence, is to the Cultural Revolution in China is terrifying. And you know who it's most terrifying to, Andrew? It's the people who lived through the Cultural Revolution. There are any number of Chinese dissidents or people who escaped. I certainly know of some in Australia who lived through the Cultural Revolution and are terrified that what we are now going through is virtually identical in principle, in attitude, in the way it dehumanizes people, in the way it separates parents from their children, in the way that it forces attitudes and ideas to be either correct or incorrect, in the way that it silences dissent by shaming you in public. All these are features of the Cultural Revolution. So Ai Weiwei was very, very aware and very poignant in what he was saying, but also you notice the reluctance to really speak out that still lingers with him from the Cultural Revolution. So he didn't dare say Biden or the Democrats or anything like that, because it instills in you a fear of the authorities that he spoke so brilliantly about without actually coming out and naming them. I thought it was absolutely superb, riveting.
I thought so too. And the fact that the host looked absolutely stunned, like total incomprehension. We've got to point out PBS is in America, their version of the ABC, much smaller proportionally. It's taxpayer-funded broadcasting. And she probably never heard this before. Rowan Dean, thank you so much for your time.